me, Mushtaq.
What do you...
Beautiful people.
I think normal Stevenson, come on my right. You know, when you say Zeba, in Pakistani culture, Zeba means a very famous woman, and it becomes automatically beautiful. So can I, colleagues, Sandra, while you are standing, you are not beautiful? You are beautiful. Dr. Victoria Goodall, come forward. And Kifale is the most beautiful one. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Member of Parliament, thank you very much for coming. And this is just a end of parliamentary year reception, which is a very informal thing. And usually there is no speeches. You just drink, wander around, talk to each other and go home. But this year we have a very special guest who is going to say a few words at the end, and that's why we are giving you this trouble to stand up for a few moments. I will introduce him in a minute. What we have done over the last year and many years, now we are in our 8th year of parliamentary year. We started in 2007 and we were very lucky to have Dave Anderson elected on that year in May from Bladen, and he took over this task that I am with you and we will support the Third World Solidarity. And I think since then we have held hundreds of meetings, dozens of outside Parliament and many here meetings on different issues, from Colombian trade unionists to Ethiopian, from Joseph Stiglitz to Noam Chomsky, from Benazir Bhutto to many others, and from Kashmir to Palestine. We have raised human rights issues, other issues. I work very closely with the APPG on international development. Nigel is here, who is also part of that, and we just met 1 hour ago, and we are aiming to have coordination and invite the Prime Minister of UK to work with us and engage with parliamentarians on MPG. MPG is Millennium Development Goals, which is ending in 2015. So I will keep you inviting to different things, but can I now invite Dave Anderson, the chairman of All Party Parliamentary Group, to say a few words, and then I will invite our main guest.
Thank you very much, Mushtaq. It's good to see everybody here tonight. As Mushtaq said, it's the end of the parliamentary year. It's not quite, we still have 2 weeks to go. And the way things are happening lately, a lot could happen in 2 weeks. I was talking to one of the colleagues earlier on about what we've been doing for the year. And when you think of the changes we've seen in this last year, in fact, you think the changes we've seen in the last 24 hours, we know that the world is still a very, very unstable place. And the whole point of what we try to do is to try and give a focus to people who are affected by that lack of stability. We've had, as Mushtaq said, some good discussions and tried to help people from Ethiopia over the last year. We had Colombian trade unions still facing basic death threats every day just for representing the people standing for. And from that we've built good relations with people across the world, and I think the work we do in here is respected, and people are, when we ask people to come to give us support, they're there. And this is just a small way of saying thank you to yourselves for giving us your time, giving us your support, and we hope and we pray as we go forward we can continue to play our small role. I've just met this gentleman tonight. We'll talk to you later on about whether we can do anything from our group to try and resolve the issues with the Taliban in Pakistan and Afghanistan. If we can play a small part in seeing, if we can only learn from the lessons we learned in this country from the terrible, terrible situations that we had in Northern Ireland, where finally we realised that if we didn't sit down and talk to each other, including people who had killed some people who we were very close to, if we hadn't done that, that would probably just carry on and on and on. And thankfully, despite the fact there has been some setbacks over the last year, Northern Ireland can be seen as a model. And the other one, obviously, the sad reality that as we speak tonight, one of the greatest men who ever lived, Nelson Mandela, is probably facing his biggest ever challenge. But again, we can learn from a man like him, who said to his people, who quite rightly have said, let's turn on these people who abused us for 2 centuries. But he didn't. He said you've got to hold up the hand of peace, the hand of friendship. And for me, that's the model we try to strive for in this group. And it's a model that I believe, if politicians like yourself and other politicians around the world, if we try that a bit harder, we might stop having to send young men and women away from our homes, see them killed in far-off crime. So we're here, so as long as we can be, Mushtaq, we'll carry on working together with yourselves and other people of a like mind to try out a little bit to make this a better world. So thanks very much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dave, and I think you all know that today is 4th of July. Do you know why it is an important day? It is American Independence, so I congratulate all Americans on their Independence Day. But then there is another very important day coming tomorrow, which is 5th of July. I think the blackest day in the history of Pakistan. And I think we should remember the people who have given the sacrifice in Pakistan for the democracy people of Pakistan today enjoy, and the support we and this house has given, including my colleagues. And you will be amazed why these three people are sitting on my right while speaker are sitting on my left. Kefale Almo, Dr. Victoria Goddard, and Sandra Settley. Sandra is the founder member of Third World Solidarity with me, with other 5 people. I remember we were 7, we started it, and now they are the member of executive committee of Third World Solidarity, and we have other active members, and there are many members standing here. So without your support, we cannot deliver what we are doing, and without the leadership Dave Anderson has provided. But let me introduce you to our guest speaker today. Hafiz Hussain Ahmed is a parliamentarian from Pakistan. He has done a lot of international trips, but and is based in Balochistan. And he was a Deputy Secretary General of Jamiyat Ulama Islam recently. This election he didn't stand, and he is no more in the parliament, but there are many people, wherever they are, whether they are in the parliament or out of parliament, their voices are very important. And I think in Pakistan, Hafiz Hussain Ahmed, your voice is very important and everybody respects you. Can I invite you to speak not only about the situation in Afghanistan today, but also remembering the 5th of July in Pakistan. Hafiz Hussain Ahmed.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ahlal kitab ta'alaw ila kalimatin sawa'in baynana wa baynakum Allah na'budu illa Allah sadaqallahu al-azim. Qabil ihtiram Janab Biradar Aziz Mushtaq Lasharie Sahab, Member of Parliament, Khawaateen और हज़रात, मेरे दोस्तों बुजुर्गों, मैं मशकूर हूँ अपने भाई का कि उन्होंने आपसे मुलाकात का शर्फ बख्शा। इन्होंने मुझे टेक्स्ट किया और भेजा कि आप आ जाए और हाउस ऑफ कॉमन में हम बैठेंगे, 5-10 मिनट बात करेंगे। तो आज मैं कॉमन पॉइंट पे ही, कॉमन हवाले से ही बात करूँगा। अल्लाह ताला ने हमें हुक्म दिया, रब कायनात ने, कि अहले किताब के दरमियान और आपके दरमियान जो कॉमन पॉइंट है उस पे आप एक दूसरे के साथ बातचीत करो और एक दूसरे के साथ ताउन करके आगे बढ़ो।
I think I also want to welcome my Kashmiri leaders. Abdul Jabbar Bhatt has just arrived. He is one of the senior leader of Kashmir, and we have done a meeting on Kashmir. Hafiz Sahab has just said that I think I'm going to speak about commonality of human beings, and God has asked Muslim to always work on common grounds, not on the differences point from each other.
आज मैं हाउस ऑफ कॉमन में खड़े होकर ये बात कह सकता हूँ कि बरतानिया जमहूरियत की माँ है और माँ ही कन्फर्म होती है। और जमहूरियत की माँ के हवाले से मैं ये बात कहूँगा कि अगर आपने फैसले जमहूरियत में करना है तो आप बैलेट के ज़रिए फैसला करेंगे, और अगर वहाँ आप बुलेट के ज़रिए फैसले करेंगे तो वहाँ जमहूरियत मौजूद नहीं होगी। लेकिन एक अजीब सूरत हाल है कि 5 जुलाई को वहाँ फैसला बैलेट के ज़रिए नहीं हुआ था, बल्कि वो फैसला 5 जुलाई को बुलेट के ज़रिए हुआ था। लेकिन अफसोस की बात है कि आपने बुलेट के ज़रिए आने वालों का भी इसी तरह खैर मकदम किया, इस तरह बैलेट के ज़रिए आने वालों का आपने कभी खैर मकदम क्यों नहीं किया?
I think Hafiz Sahab has raised very important question, and he has said that Britain is mother of democracy, and in human history there is only one relation which is confirmed, and that is the mother. And that's why he said, if you are a mother of democracy, then you should take the decision in the word and support the democratic decision, not the bullet decisions. and he said that on 5th of July, a country was taken over by a bullet, and you welcomed the bullet carrier as you welcome the democratic ballot paper carriers. So let's differentiate these two, and in future, don't support the bullet, but support the ballot.
तवक्को है। दूसरी बात ये कि आज 4 जुलाई और अमेरिका की आज़ादी का दिन है। क्या हम तवक्को रख सकते हैं कि अमेरिका दुनिया में तमाम ह्यूमन्स को कामन तौर पे कम्युनिटी के तौर पर उन्हें भी आज़ादी के हवाले से उनका साथ देगी और कभी भी उन्हें गुलाम बनाने की कोशिश नहीं करेगी?
Can we start by saying that today it is Americans' Independence Day, and we believe and hope that American nation and the leadership will continue supporting the independent and freedom fighters, not going and occupying other countries and then making the decisions.
लेकिन यहाँ इंसाफ के पैमाने क्यों मुख्तलिफ हैं कि अगर आज इंडिपेंडेंट डे है अमेरिका का, यूएसए का, तो क्या यूनाइटेड नेशन की करारदादें जो कश्मीर के हवाले से हैं, क्या कश्मीर के अवाम भी उस आज़ादी का कभी सूरज देख सकेंगे जिस आज़ादी का दिन आज हमारे भाई अमेरिका में मना रहे हैं?
He just said that the independence is very important to all human beings, and if Americans are celebrating their Independence Day today, why they are not implementing the resolutions passed decades ago on Kashmir, and the Kashmiris are still occupied by millions of occupying forces.
यही सूरत हाल फ़लस्तीन का है, और हम ये कहते हैं कि खुदारा यूनाइटेड नेशन को यूएनओ रहने दे, यूएसओ न बना दे.
And today also we remember the Palestinian, because they are similar issue and as old as Kashmir, and I hope that UNO will remain United Nation of Organization, not become United State of Organization, USO.
और ये है कि ये बात ये मुश्ताक लाशारी शायद है कि मैंने पिछली सदी के एंड में 99 में आपके बड़ों से इनके साथ बैठकर कहा था कि दुनिया में जितने भी अल्लाह ने रिसोर्सेज दिए हैं तो वो ह्यूमन के लिए है और कॉमन है, और उन रिसोर्सेज को आप ताकत के ज़रिए एक दूसरे से न छीने बल्कि डायलॉग के ज़रिए पूरी दुनिया की इंसानियत के लिए उनको मुख्तस किया जाता है. काश मेरी उस गुजारिश को 99 में पजीराई बख्शते आप लोग, और आज आप कतर में बैठकर 1000 खराबियों के बाद, ट्रिलियन पाउंड और डॉलर के इसराफ के बाद, हज़ारों लोगों के कत्ल के बाद आज अगर आप दोबारा बैठकर बात कर रहे हैं, लेकिन हम कहते हैं देर आया दुरुस्त आयत. आज भी हमें तवक्को है कि जिस टेबल पर आप डायलॉग के लिए बैठे हैं उसमें आप डायलॉग ही करेंगे और फिर ताकत के इस्तेमाल को हमेशा के लिए दफन कर दिया जाए.
Hafiz has said that in 1999, and I am witness to it, he has mentioned that I took him to the next building, FCO building, Foreign and Commonwealth Office, and we met with very senior diplomats, Stephen Evan, I can name you, and Leslie Craig, who was in charge of Middle East and in charge of South Asia. And Hafiz Saab said that the best way to deal with Taliban, and I can again confirm it, he had very good relation with Taliban government, and he said, I'm ready to become a bridge in between Western world and Taliban and ready to negotiate. So let's have a dialogue, not push them to a corner where they react, and then what we have seen is spend trillions of dollars, have killed thousands of people, have displaced hundreds of thousands of people, and today we are negotiating with the same forces in Doha, but he is saying again, I hope that this time negotiation is honest, open and transparent, and it doesn't end up again another conflict.
आखिरी बात ये कि ब्रिटिश ने बर्र-ए-सग़ीर में इन कबाइल पर और पूरे इस इलाके में उसकी हुक्मरानी रही, उसकी रिट मौजूद थी, और वो बेहतर समझते हैं कबाइल के ट्रेडिशन को, रिवायात को, उनके मामूलात को. तो मैं समझता हूँ कि दीगर अमेरिका और दीगर शायद उस हवाले से असले बेचने का ही सोच रहे हों आगे, लेकिन आपसे ये गुजारिश है कि जिस इलाके में आपने एक सदी से ज़्यादा हुक्मरानी की है, उस सदी के रमूज़ को, उसके तमाम रिवायात को आप जानते हैं. अगर आप पहले तरजीह की बुनियाद पर बैक फुट पे न रहें, बल्कि आप फर्स्ट फुट पे आकर पहला कदम आप बढ़ाएंगे तो यकीनन मुज़ाकरात का ये जो डोल है इसका फैसला कुन सूरत हाल सामने आएगा। और मैं समझता हूँ कि आज 4 जुलाई को इंशाअल्लाह अगर ये मुज़ाकरात आगे बढ़ेंगे तो अगला 4 जुलाई हम इस पे मनाएंगे कि दुनिया में अमन कायम हुआ है और इस्लाम अमन का दाई है, और हम समझते हैं कि इससे आप फ़ायदा उठाएंगे। मैं सबको मशहूर हूँ।
Officer has said at the end that he has said that Julie Hilling, MP, Member of Parliament from Bolton West, yeah, and she has worked a lot on Kashmir. So you have just missed. Come here if you don't mind, because I think Hafiz Saab has ended his speech by saying that today is 4th of July, and I hope Britain historically knows more about that region, and especially tribal system. And just last week a book has been launched which has been researched by Americans, by the way, and written by Professor Akbar Ahmed, The Thistle and Drones. It is written on 40 tribes, and he has linked that Afghan tribes with Yemenis, Somalian and Ethiopians, and he has said that I think it is very important that we understand the cultures and behaviors before we go and negotiate. And Hafiz Saab has confirmed that Britain is much better placed than any other country in the world to lead the negotiation on that region and in that region. With these words, he has thanked everybody for coming in.
People's homes. The tragedy that